Hello, Guten Tag. This video is for mid and senior corporate professionals in India or in Asia, people who are managing teams, projects, and other outcomes, who are exploring what it really takes to land a visa-sponsored role abroad. I know you are not inexperienced. You have built your career over time, grown into your role, managed people, managed projects, outcomes, and other deliverables. You have done what was expected out of you and much more. And here's the pattern that we have actually seen across the board. 9 out of 10 professionals who try to land a global visa-sponsored role fail. They don't fail because they lack experience, not because they are qualified, not because of the lack of intentions or other priorities. None of that. The question is there a step-by-step way to land such role? Is there a strategy behind to move forward internationally? So 90% of the job seekers try the normal usual things, the cliché things. They tweak your resume, you sent out applications, maybe reach to the LinkedIn, or even spoken to the overseas recruiter, consultancies, or agencies. I mean, how can a third party understand your candidature better than you yourself? I'm sure you must have also tried those cool ATS softwares, right, to get a job. Again, how can a software get you a job? Isn't it hilarious? At some point, you start to see the disconnect. You start to feel that, there is a pattern which is not working. In fact, there are headlines saying everywhere that Europe is under a talent crisis, looking for a huge amount of talent to be recruited, and yet your inbox is empty. You're told the opportunities are out there and employers are willing to go to the extent of sponsor visas, but no one shows you how to be visible and be seen by them. Not just as another applicant from India, but as a global professional worth sponsoring, relocating, and hiring with confidence. If you relate to this, whatever I've told you, then before we go any further, I would request you to shut off every tab, every distraction, because this isn't another motivational video or random strategy. This could change the way you approach your entire career from this point forward. Here's what no one tells you, and then I'm gonna reveal. Europe is in a massive hiring crunch. Germany, the Netherlands, Ireland, EMEA, DACH, UK, Nordics market, everywhere, they are all opening doors for skilled professionals. And yet, you apply, you follow the process, and voila, nothing happens. So why is that? With approximately 4 lakhs open roles in Germany alone, your inbox still looks void like this. You do what's logical, right? You apply, you optimize your CV, maybe message a few recruiters, still no traction. So that's the paradox. The market says that it wants people like you, but the way you are approaching it, it's built to ignore you as you are falling into the rejection funnel. This isn't about how skilled you are. This is about how you show up in the system that isn't even designed to recognize your value by default. And my friend, until you change that, this kind of radio silence, this rejection, this burnout, this frustration will all just continue as is. Hello, I would like to give you a quick intro about myself. My name is Alok Khare. With 20 years of experience in the HR, I am the founder of Aurolingua Global Career Accelerator Group. And a few years ago, about a decade ago, I was exactly where you might be seeing right now yourself. I was sending out dozens of applications every week, rewriting my CV with every blog articles and YouTube tip I could find everywhere, watching others with less experience get hired abroad and switch past by me, while I couldn't even get a call back to myself. It's not that I was short of skills. I could speak French, Italian, German, double MBA, PMP, Six Sigma Black Belt. I was overflushed with skills. I was just completely lost on how to position myself for global roles without EU citizenship and without any local connections. Eventually, with the help of my mentor Luca, I built a strategy that actually changed everything. In 64 days, I went from 0 interviews to 7 drastic back-to-back screening rounds, 3 offer letters, and 2 visa sponsorship roles. And today, the same system with more tweaks and enhancement has helped over 800 plus professionals from India, Egypt, and across Asia land real visa-sponsored role in Europe, EMEA, APAC regions, and other global markets. Definitely, with salaries ranging from 80k euros to over 120k euros. And this is not by chance, but by building a repeatable process which is designed around how global hiring actually functions behind closed closed doors. So no, this isn't just theory, not at all. This is built from the exact problem you are dealing with and what it actually takes to solve them. If you have tried doing it on your own, followed the generic advice and still feel stuck, you are not broken. You just haven't been given the right system yet. Most people talk about career growth in terms of salary, promotion, titles, or countries. But the real weight of being stuck, it shows up in ways that don't get posted on LinkedIn. Am I right? You are juggling full-time with your work, deadlines, clients, and families. And somehow, you're also expected to figure out international job strategies on your own. Visa policies, market research, niche analysis, SWOT analysis, and interview preparations. There is no off switch button. Even when you're not actively applying, my friend, you are still thinking about what's not working in the back of a subconscious mind. And over time, it starts to show up in a very subtle ways. And how does it show up? You say yes to another weekend task because this is not the right time for you to quit. You don't want to take risk. You scroll past job offers from abroad and think probably not someone like me will work for this particular job role. You tell your spouse, let's give it one more year for the third year in a row consecutively, if I'm not wrong. You compromise on your kids' international schooling and education exposure. At what cost? Just at the cost of your ignorance. So, my friend, this isn't about jobs. It's about being stuck between what you know you're capable of doing and the system that keeps filtering you out by default. It's not loud, but it builds day by day into frustration, fatigue, and eventually resignations. Maybe, you just think that it's just not meant for me. The sentence right there, that the one we are here to break, okay? So let's be real. You already have enough on your platter. You are running projects, handling deadlines, managing on your teams, and somehow in between all that, you are expected to figure out how to land an international job too. Isn't it too much? So you do what you can. You Google, you chat GPT, and everybody Googles. You try what everybody tries. But here is the problem. You don't have the luxury of wasting 6 to 8 months on doing guesswork. You are not at the age of 24 playing with a backup plan. In fact, some of you at the age are sitting on a time bomb, if I'm not wrong. You're already carrying the weight of a role where people depend on you at work as well as at home. And frankly, this global job hunt is just another unpaid role you have been actually picked up for. If you are feeling tired, fatigued, to figuring it out alone, that's not a weakness. That's just maths. The cost of doing this wrong is time, momentum, and peace of mind you can't afford to keep spending. Let me share with you some of the belief frameworks. Let's start with the most common belief that keeps people stuck for months, in fact years. For example, if I just apply to enough jobs, eventually one will click. That number game that you have in your mind, you have been taught that efforts equal results. That the more you apply, the higher your odds of win will be. And maybe that worked earlier in your career, in campus placements, in India's domestic market. So the assumption is just keep going. But the model doesn't translate to global hiring. Here's what's actually happening behind the scenes. Your resume hits an algorithm, and that algorithm sees no local address or visas or doesn't even judge you with your looks and appearances. It filters you out automatically. No one ever sees your name, no one ever reads your messages, no one judges you, no one qualifies you. You weren't rejected, you were just simply invisible. The system made you invisible. The system isn't built to reward volume. Like you cannot just keep applying more and more and more. It's built to reward visibility to the right companies, the right decision makers with the right positioning. Okay, let me give you one example of Priya, who is a business analyst with 7+ years of experience. She has applied to more than 300 roles. Some days 15 to 20 applications she was applying in one sitting. No replies, no interviews, just silence. We stepped in, scrapped the mass application strategies, rebuilt her LinkedIn and CV for international readability, created a short list of companies known to sponsor, and built a recruiter messaging system from the scratch. Within 3 weeks, she had 4 screening calls, one of which turned into a final round with a German fintech company. Isn't it marvelous? If you have been mass applying and getting nowhere, it's not because you are unqualified. It's just because you are invisible. You are out of the radar from the system. You're trying to break into it, but you're not being visible there. More effort efforts won't fix alignment, it will only misalign you. This isn't about applying harder, it's about getting seen by the right people for the right role in the right way at the right time. Alright, so here's another belief I want to give you, put forth to you or reiterate to you, that stops a lot of skilled professionals before they even start off. The belief is, I have never worked abroad, I'm not from the top European schools, so why would they hire me over someone local? It's easy to look at job descriptions and see local experience preferred or EU work permit required and think and ponder, I'm not what they're looking for. Agree, especially when you are competing with people who already live there, already speak the language, proficiency is very high, they already fit to the culture. So what do most people do in this scenario? They assume they are not ready or not global enough and they quietly step back. Isn't it? Can you not relate to it? Here's what that belief actually misses. Hiring managers aren't rejecting you for where you have worked. They are skipping you because of how your experience is positioned. Most professionals frame their resumes like they're applying for Bangalore and not Berlin. For example, they're applying to Nagpur and not Netherlands. I know it's hilarious, but just on a lighter note, they highlight tasks, not transferable outcomes. They miss the global context. They, in fact, fail to signal readiness, not just for the job, but for the visa, relocation, and ramp up curve. Alright. Deepika, for example, was a backend engineer in Pune, 7+ years of experience, no international work experience, no elite high-flying college batch, and she thought the same just like you. I'm too average for a European company. We didn't change her story, we let it be. We changed just the way it was depicted or was told. We rebuilt her LinkedIn, repackaged her experience using language European hiring managers actually look for or they scan for. Okay, we positioned her as visa ready and relocation capable, then helped her reach out directly. No job board noise, by the way. Results? She landed a whooping 95k euro offer from a fintech firm in Ireland. Full visa sponsorship, full relocation. Your experience isn't too local, by the way. It's just packaged for the wrong market. You don't need to change who you are, by the way. You need to communicate like someone who belongs in the global role, because you need to fit in the global DNA positioning. All right, let's address the belief that keeps the smartest professionals stuck for the longest time. That is, let me figure it out on my own first, then I will get help later if I need it. Isn't it what you guys do also? You are intelligent, no doubt. You have solved complex problems at work, in life. You have built your entire career by figuring things out on your own without depending on anyone. Totally agree. So when it comes to moving abroad, the natural instinct is, I'll watch some YouTube videos, read Reddit threads, maybe go to ChatGPT, ask around, and eventually try to crack the code. Here's what that belief doesn't account for. This isn't a regular skill gap, by the way. You can Google your way through or you can find somewhere else. This is a multi-variable system. The visa rules, the market differentiations, the global positioning, the recruiter psychology, ATS filtering, relocation and tape, and demographic analysis, salary locations, everything you can't do on your own. Trying to figure this out solo is like trying to flying a commercial jets after watching cockpit tutorials. It doesn't work that way. You might technically understand it conceptually, but you are not clear to take off. You're not clear to implement it. While you are actually putting the pieces together, someone else with the same profile who is executing this proven system is getting the interviews, is working on the relocation in half the time that you are still figuring out the things. Ahmed, for example, was a seasoned SAP consultant from Egypt. Smart guy, by the way, 12 years in. Everyone told him, hey, Ahmed, you should be in Europe already. So he tried the regular DIY way, okay, do it yourself path, hundreds of job application, optimized his resume 5 times. He even tried a freelancer to write his LinkedIn. Still nothing at all. No traction, no feedback, just radio silence completely. He came to us ready to quit. Not his dreams, but the process. We repositioned him, built a targeted job funnel, and coached him on cultural fit, visa negotiation, figured out which country is best for him and how to go ahead. In less than 6 weeks, he had 3 offers and he chose the one which cladded him with 100k euros role in the Netherlands which included the visa also and family reunification. So this isn't at all about your intelligence. Nobody is challenging your intelligence. It's about your bandwidth and the cost of delay. You're already managing your job, you're managing a family, your responsibility, kids, shopping, bosses, I don't know what not. You don't need more researchers. You just need a system that is proven and that works, with someone who's ready to walk the path along with you. Am I right? And then there is one more belief that is always in your mind. That is, oh no, I'll just buy a job list from somewhere and apply randomly. That will give me a head start. On paper, it sounds fantastic, super smart. A list of companies that sponsor visas, you can start applying today. It feels like a shortcut and it's cheap, so why not give it a try? Here's why it would never work, never did, and never will. That is, a list doesn't get you shortlisted. A spreadsheet doesn't get you a callbacks, and none of these databases tell your story. They don't position your value or walk you through the cultural fit interview in weeks. 5th week, 6th week, 7th week of hiring, there are 6 rounds of interviews happening for any position. You are still left doing all the heavy tasks, heavy lifting on your own, such as the cold outreach, the resume tailoring, the interview preparation, the visa paperwork, and so on. So let's be clear, guys. When you buy a list, you are not buying a solution. You are actually buying another to-do list for yourself. The only thing more expensive than buying the wrong list is wasting another 6 months or 8 months chasing what never ever had a chance. Let me give you an example of Harsha, who's working in Norway right now. He was exactly in the same exact spot as you are, which I just narrated. He bought approximately 3 job lists, sent 150 plus applications, got nothing. Then he joined us. We didn't give him a list. We broke the belief. We gave him a done-for-you job map, a real-time roles, pre-qualified, customized messaging written and sent, interviews lined up, and full visa coaching end-to-end program was designed around his candidature. 16 days down the line, he was in Norway with 90k euro salary, with visa approved and an SUV lying on his garage by the client. No guesswork, no spreadsheet, no gambling at all. You don't need more data. Enough openings are there. All you need is the right movement and the right traction. And our system isn't about showing you what's possible. It's all about doing the work that gets you seen, interviewed, and hired. So by now, you've probably realized something, that it's not that you haven't worked hard, or it's not that you are not intelligent. You have all the capabilities. It's that the path that you are following, the mass applying, guessing, downloading lists, watching free videos, was never ever designed for corporate professionals like you who are aiming for international roles. You have done what made sense to you, what was logical, what everybody said to you to try. But if efforts alone was enough, you wouldn't be watching this video. Because at some point, this stops being about figuring things out and starts being about taking the right decision to do the right thing. You don't need more time, you need momentum. You don't need another hack, you need a real-time strategy. You don't need more effort, you need execution and traction. And you already know, trying to handle this alone, along with a full-time job and a life running in parallel, isn't sustainable. You don't need to do more, you need to move smarter, alright? So by now, it's obvious that this isn't about resumes or applying harder or visibility. What you need is a system, a proven system in place, built specifically around your candidature for mid and senior professionals who are serious about landing real visa-sponsored roles abroad. So by the way, this is not a course. We are not an agency or consultancy, and definitely we do not provide any job list as such, alright? No shortcuts. What we have built is a done-for-you mentorship, which is engineered to give you one thing: movement with precision. Here's what it includes. Let me give you at a high 10,000 feet level. Number 1, repositioning your profile so hiring managers abroad actually see your value and they respect it. Mapping and sourcing real visa-sponsored opportunity based on your skills and revolving around your candidature. Messaging, outreach, and recruiter conversations done with you using our proven script so that you never ever fail. Along with that, weekly cultural fit interviews to crack those 6 rounds of interviews so that you don't just prepare yourself, you are actually getting chosen and selected. Then we also do a strategic support for relocation, visa planning, and post-offer transition, because we know that journey doesn't end as soon as you fetch a job role for yourself. And yes, job mapping, messaging, shortlist creation, and all of that is done for you. Isn't it fantastic? Because at this stage in your career, you don't need another tactic, another trick, another trial. You need a proven traction. Everything that we do is structured around outcomes and results, not activity. It's built to run in parallel with your full-time role, and it is designed to work only for corporate professionals who are ready to stop doing the guesswork on their own. How it's delivered? Well, we'll walk you through that in our clarity call, the strategy call. Once we know your profile, we get to know your candidature, we dissect it, we understand it, we figure out which is the country goals and the role that you focus upon. Because we don't plug people into templates, that we don't do. We engineer systems that fit your context. We build system around your candidature. That's how we have helped more than 800 plus professionals break through this without chasing, without burnout, and without any blind hopes. So let me tell you one thing, book a clarity call using the link below. It's definitely not a sales pitch. It's a real conversation to see if this system is the right fit for where you are and where you would want to go. We only onboard a very limited number of professionals each cycle to maintain our delivery quality. So if this is speaking to you, if this is making sense to you, don't wait until the next window phase opens up. Click on the link below to book your clarity call. Pick a time that works for you, fill out the short form, and show up ready with the talk specifics. We'll review your profile, your goals, your desires, your hurdles, your hindrances, and if we are the right fit, we'll map up exactly how this can work for you, a tailor-made customized program. All right, so this is how we are gonna do. I wish you all the best. Come ready and choose Auf Wiedersehen. Bye.